welcome to my studio. I'm Nicole, and I'm so excited to be here with you in 2021. If you subscribe to my channel, you will notice that I took quite a break over the month of December, which is something that I like to do. I take the month of December, I don't want to say off, but I take it a little bit easier. I don't pressure myself to post on social media as often. I don't do as many videos or blog posts, and I just kind of spend time being cozy, hanging out with my dogs and my family, watching Christmas movies. It was quite a delightful December, but I am back in action. I'm so excited to be here today, and I am going to be sharing with you my Make 9 for 2021. I do a Make 9 every year, although last year I decided that I wasn't going to pressure myself to stick to the Make 9 necessarily or over-plan my sewing projects as I have had a tendency to do in the past. I feel like that sort of stifles my ability to be spontaneous with my creativity and my making. However, I do still like to do a Make 9. I feel like it gives me some sort of frame of reference for where I would like my making for the year to go. And also, it gives me a chance to highlight some of the things that are exciting me in the moment, things that I would really love to get to this year, although I won't be upset if I don't complete my Make 9, I guess. Some of my items on my Make 9 this year you will actually remember from last year's Make 9 because I didn't get to them, but I'm still excited about them, and so they are staying on that list. At the end of this video, I'm also going to be sharing some of my personal goals, business goals, some other things that I would like to make happen in 2021 as well. So let's get started with the Make 9. First, let's talk about what has remained on the list from last year's Make 9. First up is the Libra Bodysuit, which is a pattern by French Poetry. Last year I had this on my Make 9 as an actual bodysuit, but after thinking about it, I think I'm just going to make it as a top. It's a beautiful fitted bodysuit with a adorable circle back cutout and a bow in the back that I plan on doing in a contrast fabric or ribbon or whatever the pattern calls for. I have a really lovely navy French terry in my stash that I would love to use for this. I need to check the stretch to make sure it's an appropriate amount of stretch for the pattern. But I really hope that I can make it work, especially since it doesn't, since it's going to be a top and not a bodysuit. It doesn't necessarily need that vertical stretch. Oh, and everything mentioned here will of course be linked in the show notes below. Next up, the other thing that is on my Make 9 that is a transfer over from last year is the Jup La Bohme, and that is a pattern by Vanessa Pouzet. It's a beautiful wrap, flowing skirt with ruffles, and it just looks like a dream. And I have some bright pink, I think it's chiffon. No, it's not chiffon. What's that other word? I always forget. Charmeuse. I have it, a bright pink silk charmeuse that I think will be perfect for this skirt. However, I don't love how bright the pink is, so I think I'm going to play around with maybe soaking it in some bleach water, or possibly doing some fun fabric painting, and see how that goes. I think that's why the skirt got pushed back this year, because it's kind of a big undertaking because I'm going to be altering the fabric as well as sewing the whole pattern. So I hope to get to it next year. or this year. This year, I'm going to be moving into my new studio, more on that later, which I think will have a much better workspace for taking on a project like that. Okay, new on the Make 9 this year, I want to make another Wilder gown by Friday Pattern Company, but I want to make the top, and I want to make it in a knit. I've seen a lot of these floating around on Instagram, and I think they just look so comfy and adorable and great for fall, winter. I have no idea what kind of fabric I'm going to use yet. I need to peruse my stash and see if I even have anything that would work. But that is definitely has been on my radar for a while. Another thing that has been on my radar for a while is the Yanta overalls by Helen's Closet. I have two fabrics in mind for this, so I will possibly be making two Yantas, one pants length and one shorts length. For the shorts, I have some green, kind of like a chambray. I don't think it's linen. It's a green chambray that I got secondhand, and I think it would be really cute as the shorts, kind of like utilitarian sort of look. And then the pants, I have a beautiful black and white ECAT polka dot that I think would be just so adorable. I need to make sure that I even have the right amount of fabric to make this happen, but that is definitely on the list for 2021. As many of you know, I'm a huge fan of jumpsuits, overalls, rompers, whatever you want to call them. Love them, so I definitely have this on my list. And I think I made the Roberts overalls, the Roberts collection overalls by Marilla Walker 2 years ago, and I really loved the final fit of that once I got there. It took a lot of altering to really get it to be where I wanted. I'm hoping that Helen's Closet, the Yantas, will be a closer fit to like sort of my dream loose fitted but not baggy overalls pattern. Next up is the Victoria Blazer by Hand London. This is actually my next project that I am going to be starting to work on soon. I am super excited about this pattern. I've been feeling lately that my jacket supply is really lacking. There's a lot of stuff in there that could really go, and I would love to update them with pieces that I really, really love. I have this beautiful woven fabric that I got, was destashed to me from my friend Victoria, and it's a black and white with these beautiful like animals on it, and I immediately thought it would make a great jacket. There's not a ton of it though, so I had to be really resourceful, and I ended up getting some black leather from Fab Scrap to use for the sleeves. I think it's going to be a very fun and hopefully sort of like upscale looking combo. I already have this pattern in my stash, so that is always a plus. I bought it ages ago. I still have never made it. I am hoping to work on the muslin this week. I don't love making muslins, but this fabric is like so precious, and there's such a small amount of it that I feel like it would be really careless of me not to. So next up on the list, if you have been anywhere on Instagram lately, you may have seen that quilted jackets are like taking over the sewing world, and Top Stitch Makers did a class on the quilted jacket. I was not able to take that class, but all of the people who participated in that class made the most beautiful things, and so I really want to make a quilted jacket. This also goes in with my updating my jackets goal, and this kind of goes hand in hand with wanting to take Sew DIY's new improv quilting class. That's all about using your scraps, not a pattern, and just piecing them together to make a quilt. And I would love to do an improv quilted jacket, possibly the Tamarack by Grainline Studio. I haven't 100% decided yet. I have been keeping a lot of scraps, and I've been batching them in colors, and I think it would be really great. I would love to do a quilted jacket in made with scraps from my like warmer toned scraps. I think that would be really beautiful. Very excited about that. Oh, and I also plan on getting Natalie, oh, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Natalie Abau, her ebook on doing a quilted jacket. She's the one who hosts the classes with Top Stitch. I missed, she had a second class, and I missed this one as well because I just wasn't paying attention. But she does have a ebook, so I plan on doing a combination of her ebook and So DIY's improv quilting class to make my quilted jacket, which I'm just so pumped about. Next is another So DIY project. Beth released the summer sweatsuit this past summer, and I just loved it. And I've been really wanting to up my pajama game. A lot of my pajamas are either I don't wear them because they aren't comfortable, or they're just ancient and falling apart. So I really would love for most of my pajamas and loungewear to be like cute and matching and intentional, and not just like random t-shirts and leggings, which is fine. But I just love the idea of like adding intention to even that part of my wardrobe. And I really love this pattern set. It's a tank and some shorts. They're both knit. I have some really fun printed knits in mind for this set, and I cannot wait to make this pattern. Last but not least is this beautiful dress that is going to be a ready-to-wear inspired project. This dress is a Christy Dawn dress that I saw on an episode of Yellowstone, for anyone who watches that show. Great show. Beth Dutton has great fashion in this show, and this dress just like made my jaw drop when I saw it, and I had to make it, and immediately it went on my Make 9 for this year. I'm thinking that I can acquire this look by hacking the Shelby dress by True Bias. Now I will have to slim down the flare of the skirt a little bit. I think maybe add some slits on the side, change the shape of the neckline for more of a dramatic scoop. And I really want to, y'all know I don't love sleeves, but I do love the look of the sleeves on this dress, and I don't want to completely eliminate them. So I think I'm going to have like a happy medium. I'll probably lower the armhole and do some kind of petal flared sleeve, so I can still have that sort of feminine sleeve look, but be able to breathe in my underarms. Now that I'm saying all that, I definitely feel like I'm going to need to make a muslin of this. It might be a little bit of a lengthy project, but I think the outcome will be stunning. And I have a green floral fabric dead stock in my stash that I have in mind for this pattern. Oh, and I have one more that I forgot to talk about. The paper cut Axis. I love this dress. It is so chic and yet simple, and it has a lot of options. And I really, the second I saw this big paintbrush print from my friend Katie Cortman, her fabric line on Spoonflower, I wanted it to be a paper cut Axis dress. I'm hoping to make that dream come true this year. I'm thinking I might get it printed in either some linen or something like a little bit substantial. I'm not really super familiar with all the options on Spoonflower, so I need to go check those out. That might be my birthday dress, now that I think about it. That would be a great birthday dress, and the fabric is like buying myself a birthday present, so perfect! That is my Make 9 for 2021. I'm super excited about it. If you made a Make 9, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Do we have any similar patterns on our Make 9? What are you thinking? What's your number one thing you want to accomplish this year? I really want to hear about it. In other goals, business-wise, I am hoping to release 4 patterns this year. 4! that's crazy. But I really have been wanting to get myself on an actual schedule, annual flow of releasing patterns, so I can get myself in a groove of sort of like always being working on the next pattern, instead of like, oh, rushing to get this pattern out in time for the right season, and then I'm exhausted, so I take a break, and then I start another pattern and it's too late, and then it comes out too late, yada yada yada. So I've already been started on my pattern for this spring, and I am really looking forward to approaching this in more of a fashion calendar sense, where I'm kind of like ahead of myself on the patterns that are coming out. So like I'm not working, well, I guess it's almost spring and I'm working on my spring pattern, but I'm hoping to somehow get caught up where I'm working on the pattern for the next season. Anyways, so that is a big goal of mine for this year. I would love for things to improve COVID-wise and be able to do an in-person craft show for my earrings. And in my personal life, we are going to be moving this year. So I am super excited to be getting my new studio set up. I have big fancy plans for it. I really am just going to invest in myself and my business and up my game and set up my dream space that I can just come in, feel totally calm and inspired and ready to get to work and run my business from. And so I think that is what I'm most excited about this year. I've also just started doing a lot of decluttering. I've been really inspired by the Minimalist documentary on Netflix, and I've always been pretty good at getting rid of stuff, but I fall into a lot of traps of like thinking I might need something one day, or feeling like guilty about getting rid of something either that someone gave me or that I spent money on, etc. So I really want to very strictly go back through all of my stuff and purge. And I know we'll do a lot of that as we prep for the move as well. And then another part of that is I want to be a lot more intentional about things that I bring into my home and into my life. I have been, especially over quarantine, I have fallen prey to a lot of the Instagram and Facebook ads and doing a lot of spontaneous buying of things that end up not really working out or being necessary at all. So I really want to curb those habits and get better about that as well. Lastly, my husband and I really want to try to start eating a more plant-based diet. We're not vegetarians by any means, and we generally eat fairly healthy when we're cooking for ourselves at home, but we tend to fall into the trap of like a meat and a veggie, mostly in the past to avoid carbs. But lately we're really sort of feeling bogged down by our meat consumption and wanting to focus more on vegetables in our diet and sort of put that in the forefront. And even if that means eating more carbs than we normally do, because before we typically try to eat a fairly low carb diet, but I think that I'm starting to feel like our bodies would benefit just more from a plant-focused diet. Again, we're not vegetarians, we're not planning on being vegetarians, but we are planning on incorporating more meatless meals and just generally eating less meat in the new year. One final thing I would like to keep going in 2021 is my workout regimen. I started doing Pamala Rief's, I'm saying that wrong probably, workouts on YouTube. I follow her on Instagram as well, and I love her workouts for one, because she doesn't talk in them. So for me, like a lot of YouTube workouts that are like, yeah, keep going, you're awesome, blah, blah, blah. It's just kind of like, I just want to work out. I don't need a cheerleader. So there's no talking, and they're very like short, although I do often combine the workouts together. What I really love is that she posts a workout plan on her Instagram every week, so I don't have to scroll through YouTube and think about what I want to do that day. I can just look at her plan, follow the videos, and then be done with my workout with very little decision making happening. And I really enjoy her workouts. I feel my body getting stronger. I just feel really energized when I'm done and accomplished. She has workout plans for all different levels. She has a beginner level, she has 30 minutes, she has 45-minute high intensity. So various options for you to choose based on your skill level. I really, really enjoy her workouts, and I would love to keep that routine going. Thank you so much for joining me here in the studio today. That is it for my 2021 Make 9 and my sewing and personal goals. I would love to hear yours again in the comments. What is one big thing that you want to accomplish this year? Please let me know, and let's support each other and keep each other accountable. If you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss whenever I upload new stuff. I tend to put out a new video each week, but sometimes I fall behind, so if you hit the bell notification, you'll be sure not to miss it. And if you're new here, go check out my playlists. I have a lot of tutorials over there that can help you in your sewing practice. Thank you so much for being here. Happy New Year, everybody. And I am so excited to be back in the YouTube video game. Right buttons. We're excited! Yay! Happy sewing. You don't need to come up here right now. I'm filming a video. No. No, sorry. Go away. Off. Instead of like, even if, oh gosh. Hi. Welcome. Did you miss everybody? You want to say hello?